Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. This is group 1. We consist of 4 people, me, Edwata Dinata, and second is Dwi Pundi Lestari. The third is Gita. The third is Gita Dwi, and the fourth is Rifki Arya. We are going to present our review about the material. It's called Spoken Language Production, a Psycholinguistic Approach. For the first review, it's me. I will explain about background of the problems. Okay. Talking is activity. Like most activity, it is modeled by intentions of numerous sorts. The investigation of language creation in contemporary psycholinguistics fixates on what various types of intentions mean for how individuals talk, or all the more extensively, how they pass on data and language. Basic and direct, however this may appear, it is a long way from simple to clarify how speakers achieve this activity. Creating a powerful expression, one that says what the speaker implies in any language, requests enlisting and sending the etymological assets proper for imparting one's musings. At the start, it calls for having the option to think in manners that are promptly changed over into language, or thinking for speaking, quote, Slobin, 1996. Optionally, it implies inferring words or morphemes that are appropriate for passing on the idea, organizing the words or morphemes in the manner in which the language requires to intend to the audience what the speaker intends to say, and stimulating the blends into sound structures through the activities of the discourse musculature. Since talking is so generally dominated, one will in general underestimate it. To more really like this not so straightforward capacity for what it is, we inspect in this article a portion of the old and new disclosure of psycholinguistics that enlighten what goes on in the background during unremarkable discourse occasions. The revelations lay on perceptions of unconstrained discourse in normal settings, just as on controlled exploratory trial of language creation in research center settings. In this short study, we restrict ourselves to the psycholinguistic request of making messages, discovering words, making structures, gathering phrases, and creating words. For every one of these points, we center around a specific marvel that reveals cover-up difficulties the speakers defy throughout talking and momentarily survey what is thought about how the difficulties are typically overcome. Our overview dismisses some central features of talking, including the majority of the sober-minded and phonological cycles that separately start and end singular discourse occasions. And the next slide will be read by Dwi Pundi about message making.
I'm sorry, the PPT-nya nggak keluar.
Okay, wait.
Okay, my name is Dwi Pundi Lestari. Okay, I will explain about message making. Okay. how humans come to have communicate intention or intention of any kind is an epistemological mystery surrounded in philosophical controversy. Nah, bagaimana sih manusia itu membuat atau memiliki communicative intention, yaitu di mana terjadinya epistemologi atau teori pengetahuan yang disertakan dengan terjadinya kontroversi filosofi. Kemudian, how do fluent speaker create from their communicative intention a set of communicable meaning? Nah, bagaimana sih pembicara yang fasih menciptakan communicative intention yang dapat dikomunikasikan? Jadi di sini sebelumnya pembicara itu akan melakukan atau membuat pendekatan yang memunculkan masalah ilmiah yang dapat diteliti atau dilakukan sebuah pengamatan dan penyelidikan yang terkontrol. Nah, setelah itu bagaimana caranya? Nah, salah satu caranya adalah salah satu cara mengatasi masalah ilmiah tersebut yaitu dengan membandingkan cara penutur bahasa yang berbeda dalam bentuk pesan. Nah, contohnya di sini adalah mempertimbangkan besar antara bahasa Inggris dan bahasa Cina. Nah, dikarenakan perbedaan bahasa, maka di situ juga pesan yang disampaikan oleh penutur itu pun berbeda. Nah, not yet, Mister. Kembali. Oke, thank you. Back, please. Okay, thank you.
Excuse me.
According to Slobin's 1996, thinking for speaking hypothesis is a more conservative variant of linguistic relativity that is specific to the question of making message. Nah, menurut Slobin's 1996 berpikir untuk berbicara. Berpikir untuk berbicara hipotesis. Itu adalah varian yang lebih konservatif dan relativitas linguistik yang khusus untuk pertanyaan membuat pesan. Nah, jadi begini, berpikir untuk berbicara dimaksudkan itu bahwa penutur harus belajar untuk mengkonseptualisasikan jenis perbedaan yang penting dalam bahasa yang mereka gunakan dengan bahasa penutur lain. Next, please. Okay. The attraction of the linguistic relativity hypothesis are more than matched by the challenge of defining and testing in it satisfactorily. Okay. Hipotesis relativitas linguistik lebih cocok dengan tantangan untuk mendefinisikan dan mengujinya secara menyeluruh. Ini adalah salah satu hipotesis yang bisa dilakukan untuk menjawab masalah ilmiah tersebut. Nah, testing the hypothesis produce. Jadi apa saja? Yang pertama, the first, those inherent in the disparate culture and environment of people from disparate linguistic background. Nah, mereka itu melekat dalam budaya dan lingkungan yang berbeda dan orang-orangnya, kemudian latar belakang linguistik yang berbeda juga. Contohnya seperti ini. Misalnya di suatu daerah atau seseorang tinggal di desa tertentu yang terpencil, pasti berbeda dari penduduk yang tinggal di kota-kota besar dalam hal bahasanya. Nah, jadi adanya pengelompokan bahasa yang disetujui dan diterima oleh kelompok tertentu, kemudian digunakan untuk kelompok tertentu pula, akan mengalami terjadinya perbedaan antara kelompok dengan kelompok yang lain. Nah, yang kedua, Eliminating the contaminating effect of language for administration and performance of the experimental test. Important because the hypothesis has to do with an enduring impact of language on non-linguistic cognition, yaitu menghilangkan efek kontaminasi bahasa dari administrasi dan kerja teks eksperimental. Nah, the last is interpreting any differences obtained in the term of linguistic relativity. However, there are provocative results consistent with the relativity hypothesis Robinson 2000, yaitu menafsirkan setiap perbedaan yang diperoleh ditinjau dari relativitas linguistik. Next, please. Nah, kemudian using preverbal nature, which does not have language ornament, like the idea of an unattainable target, yaitu sifat praverbal, yang sifatnya itu mereka tidak memiliki ornamen bahasa, seperti contohnya itu seperti ide target yang tidak dapat dicapai dan oleh pendengar. Jadi bahasa yang diucapkan oleh pembicara itu belum tentu mencapai target kepada si pendengar. Nah, one consequence of the preverbal nature of message is that speaker cannot tell in advance when a message will give rise to linguistic ambiguity, and so speaker do not reliably disambiguate utterance that are made ambiguous by properties of the language. Nah, salah satu risiko dari sifat praverbal itu adalah bahwa penutur itu tidak dapat memberitahu sebelumnya kapan suatu pesan akan menimbulkan ambiguity linguistik. Nah, sehingga penutur tidak dapat dengan handal membedakan ucapan yang dibuat ambigu oleh sifat-sifat bahasa. Nah, contohnya di sini. Jadi, ketika di sebuah adegan atau kejadian, di sebuah kejadian terdapat tongkat baseball dan kelelawar terbang atau hewan mamalia. Nah, pembicara yang mengacu pada salah satu objek cenderung menyebutnya kelelawar. Si pembicara menyebutnya kelelawar. Nah, di sini terjadinya kegagalan atau ambiguity, kegagalan menyadari dari sudut pandang pendengar terdapat dua kelelawar. Jadi di pendengar itu ide targetnya itu terdapat dua kelelawar. Nah, hal ini terjadi karena mereka berusaha menghindari ambiguities ketika memiliki dasar perspektif dan konseptual yang berbeda-beda pula. Okay, the next presenter. Thank you.
Okay. So that was the Mbak Pundi's explanation about message making. And the next slide about finding words will be spoken by Rifki.
All right. So I will explain about the section C about finding words. Words serve to invoke concept. They do this by using largely arbitrary phonological emblems. So for the example, we know about rabbit is an English term. If we translate it in Dutch, it will be canine, and in French, be lapin, and krollik in Polish. To bridge the divide between meaning and sound in production, many theories postulate that there is an intermediate retrieval step in the transition from a concept to the sound form that conventionally conveys the relevant meaning. Word finding occurs, word finding occurs as a part of a process of grammatical encoding, in which messages are transformed into abstract linguistic codes, or also known as lexical entries. Next, the relative reparability of the semantic, grammatical, and phonological properties of word. Regarding to the reparability of semantic, grammatical, and phonological properties, two familiar phenomena from the experience of normal speakers have been turned into tools for exploring how and how well different types of information are linked in the mental lexicon. Our first point is tip of tongue, or TOT. In TOT, is a condition when the speaker, they know about the grammatical structure, they know well about that, but they can express that into a sound form. And then the second phenomena is error in speech. It can be error about the similarities of meaning. Sometimes they replace it. For example, they are saying tomorrow instead of yesterday, and sometimes there are error in the form. For example, saying conversation instead of compensation. Error of this and other types have served as the basis for influential theories of word and sentence production in both normal. And then another influential approach to word production emphasizes in a different kind of evidence for the separation of meaning and sound. Evidence about the speed with which the meanings and sounds of words are recovered during the naming of pictured objects. Okay, thanks for.
Okay, that's all by Rifki. And the last slide before we jump to conclusion is creating structure will be spoken by Gita Dwi.
Okay. I will explain about my part is creating structure of spoken language production, psycholinguistic approach. There is more to sentence production than finding individual words. Even the speech that adults address to 9-month-old infants consists predominantly of multi-word utterance. The building of sentence structure is one of the most crucial but less understood aspects of language production. This ability is crucial because without a facility for assembling novel arrangement of words on the fly, speakers would be unable to adapt old thoughts to expression in new setting or to convey new idea to anyone. Ada lebih banyak produksi kalimat daripada menemukan kata-kata individual, bahkan pidato yang ditunjukkan orang dewasa kepada bayi yang berusia 9 bulan. Sebagian besar terdiri dari ucapan banyak kata. Membangun struktur kalimat adalah aspek produksi bahasa yang paling penting, tapi paling sedikit dipahami. Kemampuan ini sangat penting Karena tanpa fasilitas untuk menyusun susunan-susunan kata baru dengan cepat, pembicara tidak dengan cepat akan mampu mengadaptasi pemikiran mereka atau menyampaikan ide-ide baru kepada siapapun. Okay, next. From classes rather than their meaning make it evident that from class, example, noun, preposition, adjective, matter, a great deal to structural assembly. Words that are confused in error are very likely to represent the same from class, as though the assembly process at some point selects words in terms of their structural rather than their semantic suitability. The presence of no subject plural noun in utterance create a tendency toward a type of error in agreement called attraction. Attraction is illustrated in the statement. The time for fun and games are over like other kind of error. Attraction discloses some of the mechanisms behind normal error-free language production. Among its most salient properties are two that point to the structural willy-nilly, but respect basic structural boundaries. Verbs are more attracted to noun in their immediate structural vicinity than in their immediate temporal vicinity. Atraksi itu adalah ilustrasi seperti statement. The time for seperti kayak games, permainan, dan seperti semacam yang lainnya kayak error, kesalahan, dan berhubungan dengan produksi bahasa. Okay, next. Word and the syllables that compose them are uttered one at a time, even when two words erroneously blend together in speech. Example, slicker, frustrated. They blend as a single word. They question this process for theory of production are first, how incremental are the psycholinguistic preparation process in the run up to speaking? Second, what are the unit of incrementation? And the last, third, they are the target of incrementation, namely to complicate matters. Each of these questions must be addressed for each type of psycholinguistic formulation that goes on in production. Included are at least the formulation of music, words, and synthetic structure, phonology, including prosody and articulation. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gita. So it was the last slide that read by Gita, and the last is the conclusion that I will read the conclusion of this study. So the conclusion focus on 3 inquiries concerning language creation that stay a long way from an answer. From a semantic outlook, one riddle about language creation is the way it identifies with language cognizance. Semantic correspondence fills in just as it does on the grounds that speakers and audience members know a similar language, sharing a punctuation and dictionary to encode and unscramble their thoughts with a palatable level of legitimacy. Jadi dari segi psikolinguistik, sebenarnya faktor vital dari sebuah language creation itu terletak pada bagaimana speaker atau pembicara itu mengolah kata-kata itu agar jelas lebih mudah dipahami oleh orang lain. Tertulis di sini juga, the language should be dynamic and arranged in a manner that easily interface with a speaker's discernments, hearable, visual, sensation, contemplation, and different activities. Jadi, sebuah bahasa itu harus menjadi dinamik, yang mana artinya bahasa itu harus mudah dicerna oleh lawan bicara, baik dari segi kosakata, visual, atau perasaan. Okay, I think that's all we can share today. Okay, I think that's all that we can share today. Thank you for all your attention. Me and other 3 friends will say Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.